off for a week with this shoulder injury, and I'm trying to get back into moving it about a bit with some easel painting, which is the best way to do it really, because it's that motion instead of having to cross your body like you would if you were painting on a table. So, and of course the big news of the moment, the very sad news, is that we've lost the last male rhino, white rhino, Sudan, over in the Kenyan Conservation Reserve. It's very sad, very sad. So I thought I would do a quick journal page. I'm not planning on making it overly elaborate or anything. I started with one of my exploded collage things. So I had some rock here that looked very much like rhino skin that I quite liked, so I scattered that around here, and then I've painted in between with grey and kind of mid-purple and those kind of tones to get the rhino shape. I drew it in with a chalk pastel. This is kind of granite and stuff and a bit of water and things, and I kind of wanted to do a greenish grey down here. Might want to write on that section, not sure. And then I've got this section here that was rock and sky, so I've just extended that piece. It's just a piece there, so I've extended the sky and I've extended the rock, and we'll add some bits to that as well. Taken about 2 hours, maybe a little bit less, working on it so far, and it's a good way through, so just gonna sit and paint. So you've taken a break from your picture. You've come back to it a couple of weeks later, or a few days later, a week later, whatever it is. I think it's a week for us, is it? And now you're looking at it and thinking, right, what do I do next? Because you've stopped the creative flow. You were going, you were doing, you got to a point where you were, okay, I need to stop now and let this settle and work out what to do next. And then you've come back to it and you're like, what the heck am I going to do now? When people talk about blank page syndrome, I don't get blank page syndrome. I get part 2 syndrome. I'm back to this painting. It's part 2. I ran out of moves in part 1 and now I have to decide how to finish it. What's my first move going to be? Because I have no clue. Absolutely no clue what I'm going to do next. So here's my thought process with it. First off, critique it. And by critique it, I don't mean say, oh, this is trash, I'm going to start again. I mean critique it. What's good? What's bad? What do you love? What don't you love? What are you looking at immediately and going, ooh? That's what I'm looking for, the ooh moment. And I've got 2 ooh moments going on. Well, 3 ooh moments going on at the moment. 1, I adore this piece here. I love how this looks. It kind of looks like reflected water. I think I can do maybe a little bit of white or something to give ripples, and then maybe put a moon up here, and that will look like shine on the water. Okay, so that's my first ooh moment. I love this bit. I can use this bit. And already, there's a move. I've got a move. I've had an idea. So that's where your first move, not necessarily your first move, but that's a chunk of moves. I could add something to here to make this look a bit more water-like. Make this look a bit more night sky by adding a moon. And then you've got the natural shimmer coming down. And that, in turn, will balance the composition because it will draw the eye in and across to the face of the rhino. At the moment, you just look at the picture and go, spludge. You don't really look at anything. You just go, blub. To draw the eye, we need a focal point, a track, and something of interest. This technically would be the focal point. Let's call it a spotlight. You need a spotlight. A spotlight's going to be the thing you're drawn to first. Spotlight doesn't have to be a light, just has to be something that stands out. A path to follow, and then the subject, the focal point. The bit where your eyes are going to spend the most time. So that's 1. The second thing I really love is this turn of the head here. I really feel like I've got depth and texture going on. The shadows, even dark and rough like they are now, I really like them. And I like the dry brush effect because it gives this, even feeling it, it feels rough. It feels like it would look. You know, a rhino's skin is not smooth. This looks smooth. A rhino's skin is not smooth. A rhino's skin is rugged and craggy and dry and cracked and weathered. This piece here, this shadow and all the way up around, certainly along the bottom of the eye. I'm not so keen on the top of the eye, but the bottom of the eye, this bit here, is really, really good. I love that part. So now I know another move is to try and recreate some of this dark shadow brush lines and these wrinkles in other places. Where else have I got wrinkles? Well, we've got them along the nose. We've got them around the nose here, under the horn. He has some around the top of his eye. So ideally I need to make the top of his eye a little bit, not quite as much as this, because his eyes were definitely drooping down. But definitely I need to recreate some of this effect at the top. perhaps along the bottom of his lip here, perhaps at the top of his neck, where he would get the sun. That would be quite dry. Probably encrusted a little bit, because he'd probably, don't they put, I think I'm right in saying rhinos and hippos and elephants all roll in mud to get mud on their backs to act as a sunblock. So he'd probably have some mud up here. We might need to bring some of this yellow from the rocks onto his back here. So there's two things. Two good things. I love this bit. I love this bit. Something I don't love is this bit. What the hell is going on here? What is that? What is that black line? Why is that ear smaller than this ear? Why is this ear not forward? Why does it look like he's got an ear on the top of his head and then one at the back going off that way instead of one here coming forward? This ear is rubbish. This needs to go. In fact, this probably needs to be repainted. It doesn't match. It's not even close to matching. This is just a random line. What's it doing there? I don't know. This marks the top of his head. Now, I noticed that rhinos have a little bit of tuft on the top of their head, a little bit of hair. So actually I can use that bit, maybe blend it down a little bit, and then use the dark to show some very light wispy hair coming up. So that bit could be advantageous. Even though I don't like it, I can use it. This has got to go. This ear, what the hell? That needs redrawing. So there we are. We've got three things now that we can focus on. So, given that we need to warm up, I haven't done any drawing today, the last thing I want to do is work on a bit that I absolutely love. I want to work on a bit that I don't love. Because if you already don't love it, you can't make it any worse. I hate that bit. It's got to go. The first thing I'm going to do is paint over it. That will be a warm-up exercise. I don't want to come in on these bits that I really love and try to change them. And my hand's not warmed up enough to try and recreate this right now. I've got to get in the flow. So here's my starting point. There's my first move. Fix that ear. If you saw me on Twitch the other day, you will remember that I found another piece of the rock that I used. I put collage down, so this and this and this and parts of this are all bits of rock, or rock face, and I kept them because I thought they would be really cool for using as rhino, what's it called? What's the word? Skin, because it's really tough and rugged and craggy and they've got really big grooves in their skin. I thought this was perfect for it. So what I'm thinking is use that bit there, so I get a nice dark and then light shadow on him naturally with the collage paper. And then the bit that's left I can probably use. It's a shame it's not the other way round, because if it was the other way round it would fit there, wouldn't it? And or there. But I can probably use it somewhere. So I'm going to fussy cut this one. I don't normally. Actually no, I'm going to tear around the edge, but fussy tear. Fussy tear, there you go. I'm going to fussy tear. Now this does mean that I'm going to need to do a little bit of a paint job up here to get this to blend in, obviously, but that's okay. The slate grey is semi-opaque, so I can actually go over this bit and it will show, and then I can go around the edges. That's Miss Maddie sneezing in the background. I can go around the edges with the blue. The blue, there we go, that's what I was looking for. So let's sticky this down. Time to take an overall look. Hi, Miss Maddie, I see you. What's the matter? What's the matter, baby? Oh, it's Boo. Hello, Boo. Hello, Mr. Boo. Do you want to say hello to everybody? Come and say hello. Oh, there's a good boy. Say hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. What a good boy you are. Yes, I know. Mommy's working, though. Won't be long. A little bit longer, and then we'll stop and have dinner, okay? We'll go for a park thingy. We'll go to the park in a minute. Yeah, give me a bit. Just go and have another nap for a minute, okay? Let's evaluate what is looking wrong. Let's take that away. So, overall, let's just... That's black, that'll do. Let's just take that out of the equation, because that's drawing the eye. If we take that out of the equation... How's it looking? What do we think? I like it. I think it looks really good. We could do just a few more highlights on the water. Very, very slightly white highlights. I could do with... I think I was going to go in with my oil pastel, actually, and just do that. Because water laps and gets, like, mini crested waves. I'm really pleased with how this looks. I painted that. Do you ever just look at something you did and go... I painted that! Okay, so this bit is what we need to address. Now, this bit is rocks. It's intended to be rocks. But we need to do something about that because it's way too bright. I'm really pleased with him. I think he's awesome. If I do say so myself. So I hope that that three-parter monster has given you some ideas, help, assistance, and certainly shown you that you can do a whole heck of a lot with just acrylic paints. Not only just acrylic paints, but just acrylic paints, just acrylic craft paints. You don't have to have amazing paints or amazing supplies or anything like that to be able to do something that you can be proud of. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye.